Welcome to my world. Another day, another time, another period for knowledge acquisition. Knowledge is power, health is wealth. Today's topic is titled Early Grave Hypertriglyceride. When you look at that picture, this picture speaks so much. The mouth is open. The mouth can be the cause of whatever happens as early grave. That is one going to his final place of rest. The mouth, at times they tell you wash your mouth. That is, watch what you say. But also you need to watch what you eat, especially when you have abundance of food, so much to eat, and you decide to eat everything. No self-control. That will surely lead to early grave, but it is not immediate. It is something insidious, gradually drifting to that grave very early. So, what it causes as hypertriglyceride is not very popular because people are used to measuring cholesterol. Triglyceride is different from cholesterol, and how we make effort to probably show the difference, but this is not the real issue in display today. The real issue displayed today is hypertriglyceride, as it can lead to diabetes and other metabolic syndromes, diseases that are abound these days. So if you like what you see, press the like button, subscribe as we go on into the slide section where I shall explain more about hypertriglyceride and early grave. The objective: to create the necessary awareness that high calories food has a serious relationship with triglyceride that could lead to the condition known as metabolic syndrome associated with heart problems. The introduction: fatty foods are broken down during digestion to fatty acid, which are absorbed into the blood as simpler fatty acid molecules, chylomicron, that usually join together in trees, forming triglyceride. High calories carbohydrates are also converted to triglyceride to store excess energy in fat cells called adipocytes. Sources of triglycerides are oil, margarine, butter, and most other fats in your food. Other sources are pastry, white bread, candy, sugar, and alcohol. When you take too much alcohol, it is converted to fatty acid, and it affects more of the liver, where you now have fatty acid liver problem. Now, let us talk more about the physiology of triglyceride. It has exogenous pathway of triglyceride too. It's also a little biochemistry. After absorption, triglycerides are re-esterified into lipoprotein particles called chylomicrons. At these binding sites, the chylomicron interacts with the enzyme lipoprotein lipase, which causes hydrolysis of the triglyceride core and liberation of free fatty acids. These free fatty acids then pass through the capillary endothelial cells and reach the adipocytes and skeletal muscle cell for storage or oxidation, respectively. Under normal physiological conditions, chylomicrons are present in plasma for 1 to 5 hours after a meal and may give it a milky appearance. They are usually cleared from the circulation after a 12-hour fast. You can then understand why you probably, when you want to do the laboratory diagnosis or the test, you must undergo a 12-hour fast before your blood is collected, or else the result is garbage in, garbage out. Yes, there is also the endogenous pathway. That is when it is not coming from the mouth, not from outside. It is now being produced by the liver itself. The liver constantly synthesizes triglyceride by utilizing as substrate free fatty acid and carbohydrate. These endogenous triglycerides are secreted into the circulation in the core of very low density lipoprotein particle. That's where you now start having the experience of cholesterol, very good clogging of the arteries, causing atherosclerosis, and though usually it is not common with triglyceride to form really that plaque, but it can mix with cholesterol. Yeah, this is a lipoprotein labeled. You can see it contains both cholesterol and triglyceride. So it is a problem because lipoprotein helps in the transportation of this triglyceride and cholesterol. When you are now talking of the high density, the very low density, and the low density and triglyceride, this is how it is moved from one place to the other. But lipoprotein, like written, are round particles made of fats and protein, that travels in your bloodstream to cells throughout your body. Cholesterol and triglycerides are two types of lipid found in lipoprotein. Your body makes different type of lipoprotein. The different type of lipoprotein I just mentioned, very low density, high density, is that high density lipoprotein that we call good cholesterol, that function by moving everything. It works by reversing everything back, all the lipids, the lipoprotein, moving them back into the liver, unlike the one that is clogging the pathway, the bloodstream. That is the very low lipoprotein that is moved from the liver to block the pathways of the arteries, creating serious problem of atherosclerosis and heart. So the two are dangerous. Now, to the condition associated with hypertriglyceridemia, metabolic syndrome. This is a condition that includes a cluster of risk factors specific for cardiovascular diseases, just as I explained earlier. The cluster of metabolic factors include abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, impaired fasting glucose resistance to insulin resistance, high triglyceride level, that's where we are concerned, the triglyceride level, and low HDL cholesterol level. Very high level of triglyceride are associated with liver and pancreas problem. So you can see, when you are now talking of triglyceride, you are already thinking of pancreas problem as well, and that's when you are now thinking of insulin resistance or impaired fasting glucose. Extremely high blood triglyceride level greater than 1,500 mg per deciliter may cause the body to stop breaking down fats. So already you are now thinking of insulin resistance, which is called multifactorial chylomicronemia syndrome. Symptoms include short-term memory loss, swelling of the liver and spleen, stomach pain, and reddening or flushing of the skin with alcohol use. So it is also an abuse of alcohol that really helps to trigger the triglyceride to that extremely high value. It is not a very common thing, but with obese people, it is seen. And you can now understand why the metabolic syndrome, which is a condition associated with cardiovascular disease, that majority of heart problems, there is that syndrome. This is syndrome of having those 5 cluster metabolic factors. Yes, finally, we have come to laboratory diagnosis, because that's the only way you can really monitor whether you are in the extremely high level of hypertriglyceridemia. That is when you have high triglyceride in your bloodstream. It is called hypertriglyceridemia. So blood samples are required after 12 hours of fasting. The desirable level is anything less than 150 milligrams per deciliter. When you are at the borderline that you are crossing over to having problems that could lead to cardiovascular problem, you're thinking of 150 to 199 milligram per deciliter, but as high as 200 to 499 is high already. Very high is 500 milligram to 1000, and the extremely high is 1500 milligram per deciliter. At that stage, you start thinking of even hypertriglyceridemia, pancreatitis, and other serious complications that would even probably lead to not only heart problem but also could also lead to cancers. So if you like my presentation, please check more videos on this channel and you'll be happy you did.